Okay, who will use the given models in sentences?
Hi, sir. Irfan.
Okay, Irfan Hussain, please go ahead.
You should study for your tests.
Okay, so what exactly it shows? What function does it play? It shows the function of necessity or obligation. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Necessity. For example, we should get some sugar. So it shows the necessity that there is no sugar or there is less sugar. Therefore, we should get some sugar. That shows the idea of necessity. Somebody else?
May
My to
Okay,
proceed.
Abdullah Tanveer.
you could have passed if you had worked hard.
Okay, so could is used, fine. It's a conditional kind of sentence. The third one was,
Might.
who will use the third one? What about Abdul Wasi Shakir?
Yes, sir.
Please use the third model.
Uh, I think I could have done better in my examinations.
Okay, fine. So we got an idea how to use these modal verbs. Let's go back to the lesson and see exactly what is next to come. We are done with probability and now we will see models for permission. Okay? Permission. Okay? Models for permission. Okay. And then we have three models at least. We have can, could, and may. Can, could, and may. We have can, and then we have could, and then finally we have may. May. Okay, that's it. Now for permission. And then there is a very interesting difference between can and may. Can and may. Okay, for permission. Can I come in? And then you have may I come in. Now, there is a difference between can and may. When you use can, for example, can in questions, can shows that this relationship or this communication is between friends, between friends. You use can for friends, okay, for friends, or when you have a frank relationship, frank relationship. When your relationship is frank, you can use what you can use. You can use can, but not for teachers. Here, a word of caution here is but not teachers, officers, and elders. Then what can we use when we talk to officers, teachers, and elders and strangers? Then the best idea would be to use may. And this is the basic difference between can and may. And that is the difference of how familiar or what the degree of familiarity is between the people. The degree of familiarity. Degree of familiarity. My spellings are correct of familiarity? Okay. So may I come in? Degree of familiarity. When you talk to your friends or fellows or equals, you use can in your conversation for permissions. But when you talk to your elders, seniors, officers, teachers, strangers, you cannot use can here. You can use anything. Why? Because that's not the law, state law. But what exactly is can can be offensive in a case when you do not understand, or you do not know a person and you use can. That won't be a very good idea to use can for strangers. But it would be a good idea to use may for strangers, for seniors, for officers. Okay, because learning communication is learning proper communication, which is good and not bad. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the use of could? There was another word. Okay, let us see the use of could. Could can be used polite for polite requests or permissions. Okay. Let's make it green. Could for polite requests, oblique permissions. For example, your senior is around and you want to open the door for him. So you can say, could I open the door for you, sir? That would be a kind of polite permission or polite request. Or you can say, could I fetch you a cup of coffee? That can be another polite permission, a way of saying things in a polite way. Okay. So I hope it makes sense to most of you. And then we have models models for obligation that indicate obligation. Models for obligation. That's a long lecture all on models. Okay. Models for obligation. Okay. And what are these models? should, must, need, ought to. Okay. These are some of the models. Okay. Should, must, need, ought to. Okay. Should and must, they are clear. Obligation is, now there is a difference between should and must. Now what is the difference? The difference between should and must is, should you use, should and must mean same. First thing, they are semantically same. Semanti, semantically semantically same. Semantically same. What does it mean that something is semantically same? Semantically same means that they have same meanings, but should is used for the emphasis is different. The is different. Emphasis is different. Should, you can say emphasis, and you say when must is more or stronger emphasis. Stronger emphasis. So their strength is different. You can use either of these, but if you want to say with less strength, with less emphasis, use should. For example, you should not go out in the dark. But if you see that outside are people who can be very, very dangerous, or there is a threat, so you should not use the word should. You you must not use the word should. So you can use you must not go out. Why? Because there is more emphasis. But if there is less emphasis, you can go with should. Should would be fine. Now the next we have that is need and ought to, and then used to. Okay. Uh, there are three more left. Okay. But before that I will cover in my next lecture. Why? Because they need detailed discussions. Need, I will make a point here for it and underline them: need, ought to, and used to. And then there is another would structure in comparison with used to. So these will be some of the things I'll cover in my next lecture. Why? Because they need more discussion. They need some time, some examples, and some practice. Okay. But before I sign out, I would simply ask you to note down a couple of things and then let us practice them. Please, you will write two sentences on can, two on may, two on should, and two on must. Okay. Now, and you have 3 minutes time to do that. Write them quickly, and I'm waiting for your feedback. Okay, I'll be around.